the founder, CEO, and president of Amazon, Jeff Bezos.
Or you can choose a life of service and adventure.
Remember, this man is a titan of our time.
I didn't really date much until like my last year of college.
Which was where?
Which was at Princeton.
These days, the Amazon goes everywhere.
Have you ever heard the heartwarming story about eBay's founder creating the site so his wife could trade her Pez dispenser collection? Well, it turns out that was just a myth created by eBay's old marketing team. Let's dive into the real story of eBay. Pierre Omidyar loved computer programming from an early age. At school, he would sneak out of his classes to teach himself how to code on one of the school's computers. In 1991, he co-founded an e-commerce site called Ink Development. However, he soon had an idea that would change the game. Instead of the normal business-to-consumer model that everyone else was using, why not let consumers sell to each other? Unfortunately, none of the partners at Ink Development thought this idea was worth pursuing. So in 1995, Pierre decided to go out on his own and design a site called Auction Web. It had an extremely basic design and was really just a side project for Pierre. But it was the first place online where anyone could list their items for sale and have people bid on them. The first item Pierre put up for sale was a broken laser pointer. Amazingly, there was a bidding war on the item, and it eventually sold for $14.83. Pierre messaged the winner of the auction to check if he understood the item was broken, but the buyer said it was cheaper for him to repair a broken laser pointer than buy a new one. Pierre was surprised by the sale, but it made him realize just how huge the potential was for an online marketplace like this. Initially, the auction site was totally free to use. But the ISP contacted Pierre to say they were going to increase his bill because of the high amount of traffic his website was getting. In order to fund the extra money he was going to have to pay to keep the site running, Pierre decided to start charging users a percentage of the final item sale price. It would be 5% for any items under $25 and 2.5% if an item sold for more. In 1997, AuctionWeb changed its name to eBay. Pierre wanted to call it Echo Bay, but that domain was already taken by a mining company, so he shortened it to ebay.com instead. In the first month, eBay only made around $1,000 in revenue, but by the end of the second year, it made around $400,000 in revenue, and the year after that, they did over $5 million. The money just kept rolling in with more and more people buying and selling items. The main reason for this rapid growth is that eBay is very much a site that benefits from network effects, meaning the more people who use the platform, the more valuable it becomes because there are more buyers and sellers, more items, and more sales, which brings in yet more buyers and sellers. Before long, people were buying and selling pretty much everything on eBay. Some particularly bizarre examples include a grilled cheese sandwich with the face of the Virgin Mary, a little town in California, and Britney Spears' allegedly cut hair. There's also the most expensive item ever sold on eBay, a 405-foot mega yacht which the Russian billionaire oligarch Roman Abramovich bought for $186 million. However, a huge part of eBay's initial rise was due to collectible items. At one point, Beanie Babies accounted for around 10% of sales on the site. In 1997, Amazon launched its own online marketplace, and it wasn't long before it became clear that Jeff Bezos had set his sights on taking over eBay's market share. Amazon had a more polished user interface, better search algorithms, and a larger selection of products. In 2002, Amazon launched a program called Amazon Marketplace, which allowed third-party sellers to use the Amazon platform to sell their products. This put Amazon in direct competition with eBay, and it wasn't long before Amazon began to eat into eBay's market share. However, it wasn't just Amazon's superior technology and selection that made them a formidable competitor. Jeff Bezos had a different philosophy when it came to building a successful online marketplace. While eBay relied heavily on user feedback and ratings to build trust between buyers and sellers, Amazon focused on offering a more standardized shopping experience. They set strict guidelines for sellers, enforced policies more rigorously, and generally provided a more controlled environment for buying and selling. This made Amazon a more appealing option for many buyers who were hesitant to use eBay due to concerns about fraud and scams. eBay attempted to counter Amazon's rise by introducing their own fixed-price marketplace, called eBay Buy It Now, in 2000. However, this move was met with resistance from many longtime eBay sellers who saw it as a departure from the site's auction-based roots. eBay also struggled to keep up with Amazon's technological innovations, and eventually began to lose ground in the online marketplace space. That being said, eBay has not been sitting idly by while its competitors continue to dominate the e-commerce industry. In recent years, the company has implemented several changes aimed at improving user experience and regaining market share. For example, eBay has introduced a new product page design, improved its search algorithms, and expanded its buyer protection policies. Today, eBay is still a major player in the online marketplace world, but it has definitely lost some of its luster since its heyday in the early 2000s. Amazon, on the other hand, has become a dominant force in e-commerce and has expanded into nearly every area of the retail industry. While eBay will always have a special place in the hearts of online auction enthusiasts, it's clear that Jeff Bezos and Amazon played a significant role in shaping the future of online shopping and ultimately led to the decline of eBay's dominance. It's fascinating to see how the world of e-commerce has evolved over the years, and eBay's rise and fall is just one example of how quickly things can change in the tech industry. But as we move forward, it's important to remember the lessons learned from eBay's story. Innovation and adaptability are key to staying relevant in an ever-changing marketplace. Do you prefer Amazon's more standardized shopping experience or eBay's auction-based model? Let us know in the comments below. Another story down, so many more to go. See you next time on Storytelling Gods.